Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. A couple of days ago, I went wedding dress shopping, and I'm going to share my experience with you. And I'm also going to do my makeup. I am not very good at doing my makeup, so don't expect this to be like advice, because it's not. It's probably going to look super ratchet, but we're just going to go with it. Some of the details are a little hazy. I don't have a whole lot of photographic evidence, but if I have some, I will insert it when the time is right. And I'm just going to start telling you guys about my experience. So, to begin, a little bit of background knowledge. I have been thinking about weddings for a while. I mean, I really loved weddings growing up, and I loved wedding movies, and I definitely thought a lot about what my wedding would one day look like, but I didn't really put too much thought into what I was going to wear. I don't know why that never really occurred to me. It occurred to me, but I never really thought about what style I would want, what I would look like on my wedding day. I never really put too much thought into it. And so going wedding dress shopping was kind of like a huge gamble of what it would end up being. Because I didn't have a whole lot of ideas for what I wanted to look like. I have pretty bad anxiety, social anxiety, general anxiety, and I do very bad when I have to advocate for myself in any way, shape, or form. So ordering food at a restaurant, or cashing out at a grocery store, or withdrawing money or depositing money from a bank teller, things like that. And I especially have a hard time trying on clothes in public. So the idea of trying on wedding dresses was not a positive one. I know everyone said going on trying on dresses with your mom and your girls or whatever, it's a wonderful experience and you'll remember it for the rest of your life, and it's so wonderful. But it sounded pretty horrific to me, and I didn't want to do it. And I had thought about possibly doing an at-home try-on. So I was going to go online, I was going to pick out a bunch of dresses, and I was going to invite all my girls over, and we were going to try on I was going to try on dresses at home, in a secure, comfortable, controlled environment. And that was the original plan. And then a bunch of people basically said that's probably not a really great idea. You won't have that many styles to choose from. What if you got the wrong size from online and then you couldn't try anything on, and all this different stuff. And thank goodness they told me that was the case, because going to my bridal appointment, found out that I did not know what the heck my size was, and I 100% would have got the wrong size from online, and nothing would have fit. So I'm glad that I kept myself from that humiliation, because that would have sucked. But going into this bridal appointment, I made it a while back, a month in advance, because I wanted a lot of time to mentally prepare, get the right undergarments, all that different stuff. So I had a lot of notice. I had a lot of preparation time going in, but I was still really nervous because I didn't really like the idea of trying on dresses in front of other people. So going in, I ended up carpooling with my soon-to-be mother-in-law, mother of the groom, and I was waiting at my appointment for my family members. So the people that came were, of course, the mother of the groom, my mom, my sisters, my niece, and then my nephew decided to tag along. He's only 2, so I couldn't blame him that much. I already failed. Anyway, so those are the people with me. I walked in to my appointment, and I didn't realize, so as I said earlier, I have pretty bad anxiety, and this kind of shows up in different ways. Sometimes I hyperventilate, like the typical, panic attack. Sometimes my eye will twitch, and very common is I break out into hives. So it takes me a while to notice that I've broken out into hives. Typically it's on my chest. Sometimes I've gotten it on my legs. I've gotten it on my stomach. I've gotten it on my face before. But it's pretty common for me to break out into hives. And I originally thought it was an allergic reaction because I have pretty sensitive skin. And I thought it was like my laundry detergent or whatever, because it was like, it had never really happened before. It's pretty common now, but when it first started happening, I was like, I have hives all over my body, and it was like ridiculous. And I kind of caught on that it's a symptom of my anxiety, but it takes me a while to figure out that I have hives all over my body. So I'm in this appointment, and I was the first one to get there. Well, I was the first one in the building. They had already been there, but they had to leave for a reason or two. And so I was there, and then my family walks in, and my sister looks at me and she's like, "Do you have a sunburn?" And I was like, "No, I don't think I have a sunburn." And then my mom's like, "Sweetie, you're blotchy. You have hives on your chest. Are you really nervous?" And I was like, "Oh shoot, like it's obvious. Like everyone can tell now that I'm freaking out going into this appointment." So they take me into, well, first of all, they asked me what I want, and my main things were, I wanted something low key, kind of simple. I didn't want pure white. I wanted off-white because, I don't know, I just wanted off-white. I didn't want strapless. I didn't want anything super sparkly. I really like lace. And then I gave her my budget, which was very tight, and I'll get into that later. But then she takes me into the back, and she pulls some styles that I wasn't really sure about. And I tried on, I want to say about 6 dresses. It kind of got a little hazy there because there was a point where they just started pulling whatever fit me. And I'm about mid-size. I'm not necessarily plus size, but I'm not like average size either. Like I'm not like super, super skinny or anything like that, or thin. But I'm like curvy, right? So they had maybe like 10, 12, 13 or so dresses in total in the boutique that were in my size. And this is a smaller boutique. It's like a hometown local place. But I had heard that they were super budget friendly, and I heard a lot of good things. I heard that the owner was really nice, and they were size inclusive. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. So they put me in the first dress that they pulled, and this dress was probably the most like what I was expecting to try on. Like, it had a lot of things that I liked. It had like a boat neck type thing. It was 3/4 length sleeves. It was lace, very, very, very beautiful. But it was a ball gown. And I didn't want anything super dramatic, which they knew. And so I don't know exactly why they chose a ball gown. I guess that they were like, let's try it all. Okay. So I tried on this ball gown, and it was very beautiful. And I felt very pretty. It was very flattering on my body type. But it was a lot, you know? And I felt like I was wearing a costume. I didn't feel like me. I just felt like I was playing a character. And a lot of the dresses I tried on felt this way. It didn't feel like me. It felt like I was playing a character. And this was probably one of the most beautiful dresses I tried on out of all of them. I think I liked it the most, besides the one that I picked out. But the one I chose. But it just wasn't it. It was too big, like not big as in it was too big for me, but it was like super poofy. I felt kind of like a cupcake. It wasn't it. The second dress that they put me in, I'm a little hazy on what it looked like. But I remember it was a blush pink color, which I loved. I loved the blush pink color. It had a plunging neckline. I don't do well with plunging necklines, but it had a plunging neckline and a blush pink color, and there was still lace, which I liked, and it was a ball gown again. And this one, again, very pretty, very flattering, still wasn't me. The third dress I tried on was not as, still a ball gown. This one was covered in lace, and it had full-length sleeves, and it was about a size too big. And this is a smaller boutique, so, you know, like you'll watch, like, Say Yes to the Dress or whatever, and they'll have, like, the little clips to pull it back and make sure that you look the way you normally would, even if it's too big. They didn't have that. They had, like, safety pins. So it just looked like I was, like, swimming in this dress. And so maybe if they had one that fit me, I could have envisioned it more, but I just couldn't see it, so I didn't really like it, and I felt very enclosed. So then my mom decided to look around the boutique and try to find something that she thought I would look good in, because she could tell that I was just not into the ball gown thing. It was too much. It was too big. I didn't like it. So she ended up pulling a dress that was kind of like a mermaid fitted dress, which I never really envisioned myself wearing, which is funny because I didn't want something poofy, so obviously the alternative would be like fitted, but I didn't really think about it that hard. So she chose like a fitted dress. I do not remember what it looked like for the life of me. No pictures of that one. But I remember that there was like a weird neckline that they said that they could like cut off, so it wasn't like super high up. I remember it being too small, so I kind of felt like I was suffocating. It like hugged around my stomach. But I remember very, very little about that dress, but I remember that I liked the shape, and I wasn't expecting to like the shape, and they were like, okay, this is the type of a dress that she likes. So they pulled out 2 bridesmaids dresses, and they were like, hey, we could get these in different colors, like, you want to try one of these on? So they had me try on this dress, and this was the 5th dress I tried on, and it was like a bohemian. It had like a really long train. It was like a weird color, and I don't remember what it was. It was like my skin tone, and that had beads all over it. It was tight, and it was strapless. I said I didn't want strapless, but I tried it on, and you could hear me walking because of the beading. It was interesting. It was very cool. I didn't feel like a bride. It felt like an evening gown that I would wear to like a red carpet or something. But we were getting close, to the mark. So I don't know if it was the owner or someone that was working there, but she basically said, okay, so there's a couple more in your size. So I start kind of freaking out. I'm a little hyperventilating, and when I freak out, I have like a little tick. Like I'll grab at my body when I'm really stressed out. And I'm like on the verge of tears. I'm like, I'm never going to find anything that fits me or looks good on me. And I'm, never going to find the dress. There's never going to be one that I like and all this sort of stuff. So I'm freaking out. My family's trying to calm me down. They were kind of expecting this because this is kind of my MO. But they're trying to calm me down. They're like, oh, you don't have to choose anything today. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, they were like, okay, let's look at a couple in the front of the store. So I walked to the store. You can hear me going because of the beads. I'm freaking out a little bit. And they pull this dress. And it was the same, like, mermaid-y type of style dress. But it was, like, lace. There's no appliques. It was just, like, a full lace dress. And then it had some, like, there's like a weird top, and I can't really explain it right now. And then there's like some beading that I wasn't really a fan of, like in the front, but I was like, why not? Let's try it. So I'm in the room trying on, before I even tried on this dress, I'm praying, literally. And I'm saying, please, 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 Lord, let me love this dress. Please let me feel beautiful in this dress. Please let this be the one. And up until this point, I don't think I've smiled once, except for like a picture. But I was kind of like, this isn't it, to all of them. And I put on this dress, and I looked in the mirror, and I started smiling. And I was like, I feel like me, I felt beautiful. I felt comfortable. It fit me like a glove, except for the sleeves, but the body, it fit me. And I was like, it's low key, still feel like a bride, it's beautiful. And I walk outside, and I had like that moment that they tell you about where everybody who came with you, your whole entourage, all were like, that one where they're all like, that's it. Like, you look so beautiful. Like, everyone, even my mother-in-law, who had zero opinion on any of the dresses, was like, that's it, right? I felt like me. It felt beautiful. It fit me. I was like, I think this might be the one. I kept looking. They put a veil on me, and I was like, I feel very beautiful. And there were some things I didn't like, so I'm gonna make those changes eventually. But so I looked in the mirror, and I was like, wow, I think this is it. And I have a pretty tight budget at this point, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna say, yes, I do want this one, and then I'll worry about the price after. So I said, yes, and I didn't do like the whole say yes to the dress thing because I thought that was kind of silly, but I said yes, and I was like, this is the one. Looked at the price. It was only $250. It was discontinued. This was the last dress that they had. It was in my size, and I could take it home that day for $250. So, and it ended up being about $265 after taxes. But I was like, hot dog, let's go. I'm into it. So I ended up finding my dress, not exactly what I had gone in looking for, but it was very classic, very elegant, which is what I wanted. I could move in it, it fit me. There are some changes I need to make to it. I'm planning on adding, Jathan, if you're watching, don't listen to this part. I'm planning on adding sleeves because it doesn't have sleeves. And so I'm going to add some sleeves. I'm taking off the beading in the front because I think they're like sequins, and I thought that was kind of like tacky. So I'm getting rid of the sequins. I'm keeping the pearls, but I think it's so beautiful, and I feel really confident in it, and it's in my closet right now. Hopefully Jathan never sees it, but I found my dress, and that was my experience trying on wedding dresses. Thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Bye bye.